guys at home, we're on the show live, IFCO-TV. If you can share this with some of your friends on your social platforms, the link is going to be www.ifcochiro.org/live. And that's the link that you want to share with folks so they can experience some of these great chiropractors that we have on the show as well. We are sitting with Doc Joel Kinch from Colorado. Right here in the what's this state called? What's the?
I'm in Colorado, but Castle Rock is the city, so I'm about 45 minutes, 60 minutes south here.
Okay,
so
nice.
it's the perfect conference for me.
Right,
planes, trains, automobiles.
Yeah, I had a fly-in from New Jersey.
Yes.
And then we had to acclimate ourselves to the lighter air out here.
I saw the pictures. You saw some of our beauty up in the mountains.
It was beautiful. We were in the Rocky Mountain National Park, and I think that we hiked more than I should have. yeah, absolutely is. And, I'm going to blame it on Schubel. Yeah,
everybody does.
Yeah. He just is like an energized bunny. He kept going and going and going. Okay, so tell the folks at home a little bit about yourself, and then we'll just have a little bit of a conversation.
Been practicing for 18 years. Graduated from Palmer West in 1995.
Awesome.
Seems like forever now.
Yep.
Practiced with my wife. Started up in Washington State, of all places. Practiced there for a year. Set up a second practice for a friend of mine.
Oh, I didn't know that. Your wife's a chiropractor too.
Wife's chiropractor as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, we got to keep it in-house, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Keep it in-house. And I moved to California, practiced there for 5 years, and that's where we met.
Right.
And so met Dr. Kathy.
Hey, Scott Garber's in the house. Hello. Are you speaking today?
I'm speaking. If you're 2 hours within the area, come on down.
Absolutely. Will be. Nice. Doc Scott Garber's on in a little bit. Yep. Oh, sorry, Joe.
Yeah, no worries. So went to California, practiced there for 5 years, met Kathy. Had a family and didn't want to raise a family in California.
Right, okay.
And so the plan was to go from California, and we had a flight from California to Colorado, to Arizona, to Idaho, to Washington, back to California to kind of find out where we were supposed to be.
Yeah.
And we flew out to Colorado. We spent 10 days here, canceled the rest of the trip.
Wow.
Went back,
Never left.
stuff, and came out.
Oh,
Never
my goodness.
Never left. So with that, I've just been involved with the profession here and there, mostly as just a student and participant in the chiropractor
What was one of the main things that got your attention here in Colorado? The beauty?
The beauty.
Yeah.
It's a funny story. We were out of water, so we went to a Walmart. And we walked out of the Walmart, and it was facing west on those mountains you hiked.
Oh, yeah.
And we walked out, and we kind of went like this.
Oh, my goodness.
And then we were done.
Was it like the sunset time? Or?
It was one of those moments.
I saw when we were up on the mountains, we saw everybody with like the big boom cameras trying to capture the sunsets that were coming down behind the mountains. It was amazing views.
Beautiful. And you have to come out.
Yeah, if you've never made it out here, this is my first time out in Colorado.
Really?
Coming back next year, absolutely, without a doubt in my mind, going hiking again up in the mountains.
Yeah, and use Mile High as an excuse to get out here.
That's exactly what happened. Here's what happened, Joel. Last time we were on IFCO-TV, it was 2 times ago, Dallas, Texas. It was a Schubel Vision event. And when I went back to my office, people were asking me, so what was Texas like? And I said, all we went to go do was Waffle House. That's the only thing outside the hotel. So I made a commitment. The next event that we were going to do, I was going to explore something. Whatever was out there, we were going to do. And so it happened to be Colorado, here at Danny Knoll's Mile High event.
Right.
And we said, we're going to go out a couple of days early, and Liam was on board with that too. So we wanted to explore the Rocky Mountains, and that's exactly what we did.
Fire up the jet and come on out.
Yeah, absolutely. Chiropractic World Domination Jet.
Exciting, this event. You got to get out here because it's the second year we've done this, and it's easily twice the size.
Wow.
Easily twice the size.
Congratulations.
So we want like-minded IFCO, like-minded chiropractors out here for the Mile High event.
Right, absolutely. Can you tell us what's going on in Colorado, like politics and those type of things? I know it's a big deal, and we don't want the same thing happening in all the states, and it can happen in any state.
It can, and that's the importance of staying plugged in, even on the radar, just to see what's going on. So like Colorado is one of the progressive states with chiropractors.
Share with them at home what's going on.
I shouldn't say we, there is a powerful faction in chiropractic here in Colorado that the second thing on their legislative agenda is to get chiropractors the right in Colorado to vaccinate.
Wow.
Because they've tried over the years, even before I got here 12 years ago, they've been trying to get prescription rights for chiropractors in the state of Colorado. And what's ironic about this, the people that team up with us is the medical board.
Right.
So as we come to them and say, look, we don't want this. Our side of the profession doesn't want this.
Right.
Clearly, it's outside of our scope. We don't want it in our scope. We want to stick with locating, analyzing, correcting vertebral subluxation. They get it.
Absolutely.
Here and understand. So they join in this fight to do it. So they've tried 2 or 3 times to really get this passed. And so they've shifted their agenda to say, hey, how can anybody oppose more vaccines to kids? Right?
Yeah.
You know, that's the logic.
Being creative in their way that they're explaining it.
So they're going to make a run at it, and so once they get that, it's kind of the foot in the door. Well, hey, we're injecting people with vaccinations. Now can we just have the prescription rights? Is that their agenda? Is that the case? We're just logically thinking that's the plan. They're not going to put that up on their website or anything.
Of course, yeah. But it's, you know, they're getting their foot in the door any way that they can.
And
first.
you had mentioned paying attention to this because look, if it's happening here in Colorado,
right,
it's on back burners and it's in other states as
it
well.
can happen in any state that you practice
Absolutely.
in or want to practice
Absolutely.
in.
So watch where your state sends money. They might be funding that getting done here in Colorado. You know,
Right.
New Mexico went for it. Look, we're one of the states that legalized marijuana.
Yeah.
Right. You know, so you can walk down the street here. So it's a very progressive state, if you will, and that's filtered over into our chiropractic profession. And we're fighting strong to keep it.
Yeah, that's great. And I know IFCO is stepping up, helping out with that program. And so we need more chiropractors on board with us so we can say, okay, listen, government, this is our big group of people that are on board saying we don't want this happening. This is not what chiropractic is.
And the encouragement is, we tend to want to shy away from the fight because it can put some crosshairs on our back. If
Absolutely.
You will. And with like our state association, the Colorado Chiropractic Association, we need members. Right, just showing as a vote of confidence by putting in your money for there, and then showing up for a vote. You don't have to do anything all year for the profession in our state except show up for the vote. Right. But they have the majority of the voting side of it simply because they have more paying members in our association.
Wow.
So get involved in your state association. Get involved in the IFCO, so you know when you're contributing your money to an organization, it's going to principles that you stand behind.
Absolutely. If that resonates with you, we want to make sure that if you're not a member yet, become a member so you can get involved and keep this from happening in other states as well. I know, and myself is included in this, we want to just check and adjust spines because that's what we live for and that's what we want to accomplish. But if we're not getting into politics, somebody who's not doing what we do is involved in politics, and they're setting it up for the rest of the profession. So it takes somebody like you or myself or Danny Knowles' wife, Rochelle.
Absolutely.
She's on the board, right? So she is stepping up big time and helping to assure that that's not happening or trying to help. But she needs help as well.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're here for, to back her up. Yeah, so pretty awesome.
Yeah, Danny and Rochelle, they've been warriors. And talk about crosshairs on the back. They have it, and you know what? They just don't care because the principles.
Yeah,
that's what it's all
absolutely.
about.
I can tell every time I talk with Danny, it's great talking with him, but he just has a brain that never stops working, and it's just firing off things, and sometimes you can't keep up with him when he's going all different directions. But he gets everything pulled together, organized this event. This is a huge event to put on, but he did an outstanding job.
Yeah.
And so, what's your role here at Mile High, and why are you here? Why are you supporting it? Those type of things.
Danny needed help first and foremost, so he called and just asked if I would help, and absolutely it would help. And he asked me to MC the event, so I'm blessed to get up and keep it moving, but more importantly, introduce the speakers, keep the energy up for them, which is fantastic for me because I'm seeing a lot of the faces that have been mentors for me from a distance.
Absolutely.
I mean, so MCing the event, doing that, and speaking, and then importantly, what my passion is we do a green book study this Saturday morning of every weekend. For an hour. We get up early after a long Friday, and we sit down and talk philosophy.
Right. Wow, that's awesome.
Talk green book philosophy, and that was fun this morning. This morning we tackled the fourth sentence of the textbook, which was the definition of chiropractic.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Because if everything beyond that is moot, unless we have a definition of chiropractic, right?
Yeah.
So we talked about the struggles of what people have done to that definition, or what in that definition allows them to take some leeway with it.
This morning, I wasn't in there because I was working on setting all this up. Was it a nice, good conversation?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we had from students to the seasoned practitioners. We had
absolutely.
Liam there. We had Arnaud Brunier there. We had Jay Kumaric.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great to get those perspectives.
They were, everybody that you just mentioned was on IFCO-TV yesterday,
Oh,
and so we had all conversations with them. But it's wonderful, those Green Book studies. I've been to them in other events. IFCO Global Summits always usually has some type of a Green Book study. Skip George has done them a few times out at the New Beginnings, down at Lyceum. We had a good Green Book study. When we were over in Scotland, I'm not sure if you were over there for the Global Summit, but we had a big Green Book study. And what happened was the audience comes alive, and it's not like okay, read the sentence and tell me your wishy-washy opinion. It is there, we're dialoguing back and forth. Well, I think it means this, and then this person says, well, you ever think about it this way? And then you're sort of like moderating it, and you just bring out the attention of it, and then it goes in a discussion around the room.
And that's exactly what it's titled on the brochure, on the program. Is it's not a Green Book teaching.
Yeah.
It is a Green Book discussion.
Absolutely, and that's the best way to describe it. So it's definitely worth. I know sometimes it's early in the mornings for folks to get up, but it's definitely worth it getting there.
Absolutely,
yeah.
We had a great time.
Awesome. So let's see. So how did you get into chiropractic? How did you become a chiropractor?
I was one of those people. I was age 12.
Okay.
And I dove into a fence playing baseball. And at age 12, started getting debilitating migraines.
Wow.
2 to 3 week, dark rooms, stay away from here, I'll kind of kill you. Migraines. And
Wow.
you've experienced them, you've had patients, or you know somebody with these. And so by the time I was in college, and I was doing some pre-architectural studies, and I was having one of my migraines. I was addicted to everything known to mankind. Prescription, over the counter. I was smoking things, snorting things. I was doing everything.
Anything to get rid of that headache.
I was that addict.
Wow.
Self-medicating. Nobody could help me. And I was in my dark room, covers over my head in my apartment, and my roommate was doing pre-chiropractic studies.
Wow.
And he drugged me. He came in and drugged me to his chiropractor.
Oh.
And I was that guy sitting in the chiropractor's office like this. How's this quack going to help me?
Yeah.
Right? I've been to everybody.
Right.
Been to everybody. And what he told me changed my life. It was, look, he told me the principle.
Right.
He said, I'm looking for this, the vertebral subluxation. If you have it, we're going to get it corrected, and we're going to watch your body heal.
Right.
It wasn't, I'm going to take care of your migraines, anything like that. He told me the principle. So I gave him a shot, and it wasn't the miracle adjustment. I wasn't those toggle and get chiropractic saved my life. 3 months later, I went a week without a migraine.
Right. Wow.
And if you've had those migraines, when you go a week without them, it's life changing.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Changed my studies from there. Went up to Palmer West, got my degree, and started helping everybody.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great way. We had Tom Gilardi on, founder of Sherman College, a few months back, and the first time that he went to a chiropractor, not the headache thing, but for the same almost scenario, he had a heart valve problem early on in his life. And one of his friends said, you have to go to the chiropractor, and so he goes to the chiropractor, which it was illegal then in New York. It was one of those look through the peephole, who are you type of thing.
Secret knock.
Secret knock. You need to know a brother of a brother to get in. And so he gets in, and he says, Doc, I have a heart valve problem. I don't see how you're going to fix a heart valve problem. So the chiropractor explained to him, well, do you think that your body would be better off if the signals were getting through to your heart than not getting through or being blocked? And he said, yeah, that makes sense. He's like, well, I don't think I'm going to grow a heart valve for you, but I'm just going to help your body function better. And that's what he took. And that's how Tom Gilardi got into chiropractic from that moment. So he mentioned on the show that he still had the heart valve problem, but he never had to go to the medical doctors again for the issue. So apparently that chiropractor helped his body start functioning better in a way where the signals were being blocked. And now he said that he's never had so much as an aspirin in his entire life since that moment in time.
And from there, he's changed the mold of a profession.
Absolutely. And so then from that model, he grew and decided when he was in chiropractic college that he wanted to develop a chiropractic school for chiropractors. So think about this. If you're a student in school, you're thinking, okay, what's my office going to be like? What's my practice going to be like? He was thinking about what's my college going to be like.
Right.
So that was pretty wonderful.
Big vision.
Yeah, huge vision.
There's Jay Kamarick. He was there this morning too. One of the great ends of this discussion we had this morning in that chiropractic is going after the cause of dis-ease in the chiropractic definition, and it shifted. It was amazing because it talked about staying focused on simply that, and that's kind of what you mentioned, the brain-body connection, looking for that interference. But it transitioned into how sticking to that definition brings ease to practice. Because if you are focusing in a therapeutic model on the headaches, on the heart valve, on a wrist component, whatever it may be, that is just stressful. It wears you down.
Right.
But what frees you up is when you dive into the principle of chiropractic, and that it's just all about restoring ease. Well, for the chiropractor, when you walk into your office every morning and knowing that your sole responsibility is just to locate, analyze, and correct vertebral subluxation, that just brings some ease to your practice.
Right.
It just makes it that much easier or simple to do. And again, back to the IFCO, they're fighting for our right to do that.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And the vision of IFCO is every man, woman, and child on our planet has the opportunity to visit with a chiropractor and be adjusted when necessary from birth. So that's if that resonates with you, that's why our group is here and out here supporting Mile High, because you guys model that vision as well. Last night we had a big panel discussion with the students. You brought up students, and I was just wondering, do you have any advice if there's any students out there watching?
Oh, absolutely. The first thing I would do in school, or even just recent graduate, and us being students, even after 18 years of this, I've learned so much here, is finding that chiropractor, that mentor,
Absolutely.
that you can just bounce everything off of. Sitting with students in like-minded molding brains, you can get lost into this spiral, into this funnel that takes you way off base, is finding that mentor, that chiropractor that can mentor you and keep you on track. So once you get through school and you do what's necessary to get a license, unfortunately these days, that you can come out into practice unmuddied, unsoiled, starting from the groundwork.
Absolutely, and that's one of the most important things that we actually got across to the students last night as well. Constantly improving your communication skills and your palpation skills. And how do you do that? Find a mentor. Find somebody who you want to model after or practice like, and then just continually bounce ideas off of them, question them. I know when I was in the undergrad program, there was a doc named Dr. Robert Berkowitz in New Jersey, and I was in his office probably more than any person on the entire earth in one of his practice members, and I was just watching him, talking with him, challenging him on some things, because I didn't know what chiropractic was back in undergrad, and then he helped mold my understanding of chiropractic to what it is today.
Yeah, Liam and Jack's focus on communication is crucial.
Yeah.
Absolutely crucial, because you have to be able to communicate in a very clear, consistent way, so the layman, that person walking in, like me when I was 18 in that chiropractor's office, in such a way that's crystal clear and powerful.
Yeah,
communication
awesome.
is the way to do that.
Yep. And so now we talked about what was going on in Colorado. We talked about Mile High. We talked about some information for the students. How about some schools? Let's talk about what's the schools that you support, or the type of schools, like the vitalistic schools are the ones that are important. And it doesn't matter where they are in the world. If that's a school that resonates with you, that's who you want to support, and you can support more than one school as well. Right. I know Barcelona just had their graduating class, first graduating class, and so that was pretty awesome.
Corel, if you're watching out in Spain, hi Corel.
Ah, nice, excellent. Yep. And so what's that like? Now, where did you go to school?
Palmer West.
Palmer West. Okay, so I don't know a lot about Palmer West. Was there a philosophy there? Was there a communication skill building there?
There was. They had at the time 3 philosophy classes.
Okay.
They really only had 2.
Okay.
And it was the first quarter you got it, and the last quarter you got it.
Right.
And that's all changed.
On the way in and on the way out.
On the way in and on the way out. And Dr. Peggy Sherman was my philosophy instructor.
Okay.
And I will forever be indebted to Dr. Peggy Sherman.
Yeah. We have
schools, supporting schools. Oh no, it's the great one.
Hey, the big deal is in the house. Hello, Dr. Liam Schubel. Here he comes. Hello,
Hey,
Liam.
can I just say you guys are doing a fantastic job?
Thank you.
Thank you.
So are you, Doc
I
Liam.
was telling everybody it's a pleasure to sit in a seat that I know you were sitting near.
Oh boy.
And I know in one moment, there's going to be a selfie happening on Facebook very quickly. Yes.
How is the chat coming along?
The chat's going great. You know what? We have a couple questions for you, so let's see.
For Dr. Liam?
No, for Dr.
Oh.
Dr. Joel.
Here comes the selfie.
Okay, well, we'll ask that question in one moment. Hold on tight. Liam, if you slide in just a little bit more,
Are we going to do the
There we
show
go.
and deal? No.
we'll do the,
You ready?
the Eddie Weller. Hey now.
Perfect. And there's El Presidente.
El
Dr.
Presidente in the house.
So
Yep.
back to
So
the question of
we're-
supporting schools.
Yes.
Here's my thought on that.
Okay.
Don't support people, support the principle.
Yes.
So wherever that may be, where the principle is, that's where my money goes.
Right. Absolutely. I
Because
totally
in
agree.
our profession, we can have we have some powerful figures in
Mm-hmm.
our profession that they can lead and be very outspoken and that. But you have to go back to, is that school, is that
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
person after the principal?
Right. Right.
That's my guiding light.
Wow, awesome. And that's great advice too. So find out the school that is supporting what your vision is or what your idea of chiropractic is, and then share with them. But here's what I would also say on the student behalf. It can be at any school. There's students that share our like mind and want this, and they might not have those classes that we had or had Peggy influenced like you did. So we need to support those students at those schools too, and that's why we have an IFCO student chapter on just about every single chiropractic college. Not every single. Doc Liam would know this better. Do we have all chiropractic schools with an IFCO student chapter yet?
18.
18. Wow, 18 of the chiropractic colleges have IFCO student chapters, so that's pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you are an IFCO member, you should make yourself available to those clubs.
Yes.
If you're in the area, even if you're not in the area, get your name to the person of power at that student and offer yourself up. Fly out there, meet with the kids,
Right.
and affect the generation.
Absolutely. I'm in New Jersey, so if anybody ever visits New Jersey, I'll welcome you into my office. Check it out. I'll
Same here in Colorado.
I'll fellowship with you, and
if
it's
there
wonderful.
are any student chapters watching this or will be watching this, contact me. Contact me.
Give them your contact info.
Sure. You can go to wellwithinchiropractic.com, or better yet, here's my email. It's drjoel@wellwithinchiropractic.com. drjoel@wellwithinchiropractic.com. Comes right to me. Contact me. If I can help in any way, I'll do it.
Somebody's having a little fun with you on the chat box, and they're asking, how long did it take you to grow that beard?
Beard?
The beard. Not
Do
so
I have a
much.
beard? Do I have a
All
beard
right.
now?
Thanks for asking that question.
Well, I have hair now. That's,
Yeah.
I was
You
I
were
was
like me,
rocking the
went
cut
the
like
same
you for
barbershop.
5 years just because
Wow.
it was easy. And my daughter, 2 months ago, was rubbing my head and goes, "Can you grow hair, Daddy?"
Ah.
And I was like, "Well, yeah, but she's 9. She just doesn't
Right, yeah.
remember me with hair."
Absolutely.
So that's
Nice.
what I'm growing is the
Awesome,
hair.
awesome.
Who asked that? Do we know who asked that?
One of the youth streamers. Well, probably one of your friends that you
Yeah.
know. Yep. Maybe Sean Dill or someone.
Yeah.
I'll just ask.
This is awesome.
Yeah,
This
see,
IFCO
we
TV.
can. Yeah, we can be. They could
fantastic.
be anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Yesterday on the show, we had folks from Europe. We had folks from South America on the show. New Zealand. New Zealand's another
Fantastic.
school with a great chiropractic college.
Absolutely. And my good friend Eric Russell, who was out there for years, was
Absolutely.
instrumental in turning that around.
And who's the other president? Is it Life West who's here today? We have.
Kelly.
Yeah, Doc Brian Kelly and
Yep.
Doc Edwin Cordero both are here today.
And back to supporting schools that support the principle. Of all the schools, we have 2 presidents here.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Yeah.
And it's not. Yes, this is. We support the IFCO here through Mile High,
Right.
but that didn't stop Brian Kelly from coming out because
Yep.
it's about principle.
And you know, we have the IFCO Global Summit coming up next month, and Doc Phil McMaster's coming out.
Fantastic.
So so he's flying all the way from New Zealand to come out to the Global Summit to support the same mission, because that's what they have in their school as well, and that's what they're teaching their students. I learned something about the New Zealand school. Just about all the board members graduated from Sherman College, so they wanted to have they would constantly send their students off to Sherman College, so they wanted to just create a school out there that represented the same values, the same idea, and so they didn't have to have that big expense of sending them all the way to the U.S. And they did an awesome job, a wonderful job. So Joel, thanks so much for coming on the show. It looks like, it was Renee Acosta who asked that. Thank you, Renee, for watching the show. We appreciate that.
DL proud.
Yes, absolutely. You know, we had the Dark Lord on the chat box yesterday, chit-chatting, and we had quite a few good comments with him. Mostly, who was that? With Arno when he came on the show. So that was fun. Mark Swerdlick is a great guy to chat with. Okay, so Joel, it's about time up. We have Liam Schubel and Donnie Epstein up next.
Fantastic.
So they're going to come on next. Thanks for coming on the program.
My pleasure.
Next time we're around, if it's next year or if it's at another event, just come on, pop on the show.
Love to.
Awesome.
Love to. Thanks, buddy.
Yep. Be well. Bye now.